Hey there. I'm
Hey.
I'm here with Brandi Heinemeyer, and I'm Autumn Augustus. I work with EXP Realty. I'm so happy to be in the real estate market and just partnering with some amazing people in the field. So we're doing this series to interview some great people. Just a tiny bit about me, and then I'll ask Brandi some really interesting questions. I'm a creative, adventurous type person. I love to get out and meet new people. I'm an extrovert, and that's why I chose real estate. And on my time off, I like to play music and do gardening and just get out in the world. Um, and I love learning about the different things, the way people move, the way the market moves. So there's a lot of changes coming up. So we're giving you an update. With me here is an amazing mortgage broker. Her name is Brandi, and I'll let you give a little bit of an intro about yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you, Autumn. So, like Autumn said, I am Brandi Heinemeyer. I work with New American Funding, and I have been doing home loans for just over 18 years. So, love what I do, love helping people get keys to their new home, love getting to meet different people and just figure things out for them as we go along, get them into that perfect product that gets them into the house that they want to be in forever. So, that's a little bit about me. I do love doing the hiking and outdoors as well. I have 2 kids, 1 grandkid, and so completely family, spending time with my family, doing things outdoors, just enjoying life and living in the moment is probably the way that I prefer to do things.
And we have such beautiful outdoors to explore up here in the
Yes,
Pacific
we do.
Northwest.
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
Which, side note, I do a video blog that where I go around and hug giant trees. So if you're done checking out this video, check that out too. So I'm going to give you a quick snapshot of the housing market, and then I have a few questions for Brandi. Um, we are seeing a tightening of inventory, and that does lead, especially in the lower end of the spectrum, to some competitive situations. But also, I'm also seeing houses sometimes stay on the market longer too. It seems that everything is kind of slowed down. And especially last year, things were really coming at a snail's pace. A lot of buyers were pushed out of their affordability range and decided to wait. And I think that this year is the year that they're going to really try to make that extra push for it. So I'm seeing things starting to tick up and speed up and get more competitive. And these buyers that have been on the sidelines are like, hey, we got to do it, whether it's the best situation for us now or not. And I think that the best time to buy is when you can afford it, because really you can't time the top, you can't time the bottom. You just got to find the best situation for you. I'm gonna ask Brandi a couple of questions I've got. Like, what do you think is the biggest hurdle to getting a mortgage for most people?
I think that people think their biggest hurdle is going to be down payment. I think there's still a misconception or a myth out there that 20% down is going to be required. And oh my gosh, I'm never going to have that kind of money. So I'm just going to rent. And that's not true. We have several down payment options that allow for help with that, if not all of your down payment given to you, so that you're able to get into those homes without having that 20% down payment.
And it's
Um,
hardly ever 20% anyway.
it's
Even
very
if you're paying
rarely.
your own down payment, it's usually
Yes,
five
it's
or
usually 3 to 5%.
Mhm.
Unless you're selling a home and you're buying another home, then they're going to use that equity. But it's actually very rare to have a full 20% down, and it's not required at all. There's zero down programs, there's 3.5%, 3%, 5%. Everybody that's thinking, oh my gosh, I'm never going to do this, I suggest they pick up the phone and talk to a mortgage lender, even if it's not me. Pick up and talk to the phone to somebody. You'd be surprised at what you can and cannot do when buying a home.
Yeah, and if you can afford your rent, like you could probably afford that mortgage, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
they're starting to count like, your rent payments as part of a good credit
yeah,
deal. And
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And I mean, the hardest thing is going to be picking up that phone and asking the question. I think that that is probably the hardest thing for people to do because they don't want to hear no. They're we're human beings and we don't like to be told no, and we don't like to feel afraid to do something. We like to just keep things the same rather than having change. And it's a big change to become a homeowner. So I think that probably next to down payment, the hardest part is picking up that phone and just asking the questions to find out if you can make it, if you can get that qualification.
yeah. Well, and in my experience, you know, you're gonna tell them maybe you're gonna tell them yes, but maybe not quite yet.
Yes,
If it's not a
yes,
yes today, it's here's
yes.
ABC that you need to do, and we're gonna get you started
Yeah.
on this path.
My favorite term is even if I can't say yes today, let's just put out that timeline where we know when it's going to happen. Let's get you there. It's not a no, it's a not yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Tell me more about this down payment assistance that you're talking about. I
Yes.
want to get
So,
in that boat. I want my friends to get in that
yes,
boat, especially if they're
yes.
first time home buyers.
Yes. So, and you don't even necessarily have to be a first time home buyer to get down payment assistance. That's another myth. It's just, it's a great program. It depends on where you are in the nation on as far as to what that program entails. But basically, it's a government program where they step in and they allow you to borrow money at a low amount of interest, if any interest, for that down payment. And it just shows up as like a small second mortgage on your house. So it's something, a lot of times it's a 0% interest rate on it that you don't make any payments for 30 years on, and you just pay it back at the end of the 30-year mark. Sometimes it's just a very low interest rate where you make small payments each month. It depends on what your qualifications are, but there are so many down payment assistance programs out there to help people get into these homes and make it more affordable for them to do so. So again, highly recommend just picking up that phone and even talk to your realtor about it. If you're not sure and you have a friend that's a realtor, or give Autumn a call and just say, hey, I want to know more about it. You're not obligated, it's just information, and it
Yeah.
helps you make a better decision.
Yeah. And if it's going to make like the difference of like, oh, I think I have to wait 2 years and save money, or, oh, actually,
Yes,
you're ready to go now. Like,
yes,
yeah.
yeah, and take a bit, take I would say just take advantage of being able to do it sooner versus later, because we all know that, yes, rates are a little bit higher than what everybody's used to, but it's really a new normal. We need to get used to seeing these rates in the fives and the sixes. That's really truly what it's going to end at. And if we're in the higher sixes right now, when we drop and those rates go down, that means that we're going to have more bidding wars on these houses. That means these house prices are going to go up. And so the amount that you're saving on your interest rate, then how much are you paying for that higher sales price then as well? So
Mm.
it's a give and take on that, right? And you can always do a rate refinance. I know I'm offering a 5-year guarantee for a no fee, no lender fee refinance. I know a lot of my competitors are doing the same thing to help people take advantage of now and not regret kicking yourself in the butt because now the house is 25,000 more 6 months from now.
Cool. Um, what's the first step you think that people should take to save money for that down payment?
I'm a big budgeter. So I think that if you want to save money and you're adamant about that down payment, or maybe you're just saving money for your closing costs, take a look at what you're spending money on and prioritize that. So if obviously we have to pay our bills, right? We have to pay our utilities, we have to pay our rent, we have to, have life, not be married to our apartment or our rental, right? So yeah, have that fund where it's a fun fund or a family play fund, but then also realize, if you're spending $6 a day on a Starbucks coffee, how much is that per month that you could be saving towards those closing costs, towards that down payment? I would just say, if it's something that's a priority to you and you have a time frame that you would like to be able to do that, then do sit down. If you don't know how to budget, give me a call. I have people that can help you with that. I know that you can go into your bank and talk to a banker and they can help you set up a budget. just so that you're able to know how much you can save every month and how long it will take you to get to that gain point.
Okay. You know, my biggest tip to save money, which actually has worked amazing for me, is to split your money up into different pools. Um, I have a couple of different banks that I bank at, and like I've got a savings account in a bank that like I only put money in, and I kind of make it an obstacle to get that money back out. And then it's, you know, I'm not thinking about it. I also, of course, have my savings account tied to my checking where that has the, um, you know, the security if I overdraw my checking account. But, you know, or putting a couple, I've got an app called Acorns where that pulls my spare change. And I don't even think about it. And it's funneling away little bits of money that I'm not looking at on a regular basis. I'm not thinking, oh, that's accessible for go buy some shoes.
Yes,
I'm like,
yes,
that's just a little chunk of money that's a nest egg. I'm not thinking about it unless I'm putting something in there.
yes. Great
Like,
idea. I know
um,
when I was growing up, my grandma gave me a tip about credit cards. And
mhm.
she said, when you get a credit card, put it in a baggie full of water and put it in your freezer. And that way, by the time by the time it's thought out, right? You're going to know if you really want to go buy that. It's going to
Mhm.
give you time to think about it, right? So
Yeah,
same thing with your checking, your savings. I mean, if you do go get this account that's over here and it's not accessible, don't get the debit card. Don't get the card that makes it easy to go and swipe that card and use that money. I agree. That's a great idea. Yep.
yeah. Like you know, I found that putting your money into different pools has really helped me save a lot.
Absolutely.
And then I'm also like up in a bind. I'm like, oh, I actually do have like a little chunk here that
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
even worried about, and now I've got it. Wow, I'm like
Yeah.
not sweating, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great idea. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna keep this short today. We're gonna do more of these in the future.
Absolutely.
And I'm so thrilled to be doing this. I'm waiting for your call, and so is
Yes.
Brandi. And
Yes.
yeah, feel free to reach out, and we're ready to walk you through the process and show you that it's attainable for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Have a great day, Autumn.
You too, Brandi. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Mhm.